You've tuned in to the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
You realize what you've done?
With Rich Liebig.
A real gangster plays his cards right.
And Michael Costanzo.
What was that you just read?
Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news.
Good times, noodle salad.
The point is, you now have the ability to be happy.
And now, here's Rich and Mike on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Woo! Yeah! How you guys doing?
What's up, everybody?
It's time for this week's episode, the season finale of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news, folks. It's our job to give you the most interesting bits in world sports, entertainment, odd news, and whatever else we happen to stumble across. Isn't that right, Mike?
That's right. We bring it to you with our unique sense of humor and wackiness. You never know what you're going to get here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
That's right. We have topics in the sports, entertainment, and odd news realms, but sometimes things bleed into one another, or we've got just wacky stories all throughout the episode, which I feel like is going to be this week's episode because there are a lot of strange stories appropriate to close off a big part in the season finale of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. More on that in just a little bit, but before we get to all the news at hand, Mikey, my friend, how you doing? What's happening in Costanzo country?
Been good. We had Easter. I watched.
Yeah, it was Easter too.
Oh my gosh.
Easter. Everything is happening.
Yep, lots of food to be had. I had dessert twice today already, once before and once after dinner. So I'm a little full right now.
Yes.
You are probably especially full because it was also your birthday.
Yes, it was.
This past weekend.
It absolutely was my birthday as well.
On top of everything else.
On top of Easter.
You just had to have a birthday, Rich.
Sausage! Yeah, there you go. I feel like a sausage after all the food and cake I've eaten in the last 48 hours. Sausage! Because it was like not only did we have the regular Easter food, it was like,
here's also a cake.
Here's a birthday cake. And I'm like, oh.
You're like, oh, okay.
Whoops.
Rich loves food, but even he has a limit.
Oh, yeah.
And his limit is like dessert 4 days in a row, probably.
So it's been a lot of Easter food, a lot of cake, a lot of dinners. Yeah,
it doesn't stop.
No, it's not going to stop either, too. That's the interesting part as well. But before we get into all that, is there anything else you wanted to mention?
Yeah, I wanted to give everyone a quick review. Well, first off, again, happy birthday, Rich.
Yes, thank you.
Sausages! And
I just use sausages.
You just use sausages. That's like your go-to. Anything that happens, it could be an announcement on anything. It's just sausages.
That just makes me happy. So I'm using that as the official Rich's birthday celebration. Sausages!
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, have yourself a sausage on your birthday.
Yeah, because I feel like a sausage.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Little Italian sausages over here. So, no, I want to tell everyone a little bit about the new Fantastic Beasts movie. It was okay. That's my glowing review.
Okay.
So here's my problem with the movie. Well, it was fun. First off, don't get me wrong, it was fun. I went to see it with an...
So this is the Harry Potter movie that's not Harry Potter.
This is the spin-off series, the Fantastic Beasts movies. And here's my main problem with it, is that this feels like a spin-off to the spin-offs. So you have the Harry Potter movies, then you have the Fantastic Beasts movies, which follows Newt Scamander, the guy in the Wizarding World who wrote the Fantastic Beasts books, the textbooks that the kids use to learn about.
And Hermione loves it.
Right, and Hermione loves it. So these movies are supposed to follow that guy there. But if you look at the actual title card for Fantastic Beasts and The Secrets of Dumbledore, Dumbledore is so large in the title, and that's what the movie is about.
Hey, remember Dumbledore?
Yeah.
Remember him?
So it's following a
Look, he's in a suit.
Yes.
Remember?
And I gotta admit,
you want to bang him? Remember?
I don't think he goes that way in this movie though. Spoiler alert. But no, following young Dumbledore is interesting, but I feel like the movie strayed really far from its roots. And at some points in the movie, I'm looking at these characters and I'm going, why are you even here? Like, why are you Fantastic Beasts here? Like, Dumbledore's trying to fight a war against the big bad of all time.
Why is Dumbledore in this movie has really nice suits on and looking stylish as hell, And then by the time you get to Harry Potter's turn, he's just
screw
it, magic robes.
It was a different time. It was it was the magic roaring 20s to 40s. I don't even know when it takes place.
How did Dumbledore's fashion go that wrong?
I don't know. I don't know.
Someone pointed it out to me, and I can't square that circle anymore.
Yeah, it's like how guys develop like a dad look. Dumbledore developed like Father Time look.
I don't care, wizard. I'm too good for this.
He's essentially wearing his pajamas to class.
Yeah,
by
what the hell?
Harry Potter. Yeah, I don't know.
You were looking stylish before.
You were looking fly, and now you're just looking like a
fool.
Looking like a fool. Yeah. But yeah, the movie was a fun popcorn munching movie. I ate a lot of popcorn, and that's really the best thing that I can say about it.
All right,
so,
there you go.
Yeah, so Fantastic Beasts. I mean, go check it out. It's still fun to see Dumbledore's young years, but if you're looking for a Fantastic Beasts movie, this is not it. This is a Dumbledore movie. So.
All right, so there you go. Official review there.
Yep.
From Mike.
So there's that, and yeah, that's all I got going on my end. So Rich, we already talked a little bit about what you've been up to, but regale us with the details. What else have you been up to besides being birthdayed and Eastered? Being birthdayed.
That's interesting. I do gotta say, I don't remember my birthday ever falling on Easter. I don't know if it has happened. If it has, I don't remember it.
Are you like God now? Like, is that what happens?
Yeah. Do I get some sort of powers?
I don't. Have you tried? Have you tried like anything like telekinesis or like levitation? Like,
I don't know. I haven't really tried. Let me just water. Whoa! Hey, look at that. It moved a little bit. All right,
maybe. But what else have you been up to?
No, I mean, so this is going to get into our programming note here, but yeah, everything has been kind of building up to my wedding. I'm getting married.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, you are. That's so exciting.
Yeah, and this is the reason why we keep saying this episode is the season finale is because this is it. We're gonna be taking a big hiatus. For us, it's been a big hiatus. I mean,
the longest hiatus we've ever had.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I've been kind of pondering like what to say about this, in terms of the podcast, because we've been doing this podcast nonstop. I mean, there's been a couple of hiccups here and there with COVID, but for the most part, we have been on a steady schedule, between the regular podcast, the Crispy Compact Communique that we did virtually during the lockdown and everything like that. And then we had a slight COVID scare. We took a week off from that, but it was only a week.
Yeah.
We were actually fine to go.
We only ever have taken a single week off. Like during the summer, we usually take a single week off.
Right. And then the occasional, if one of us didn't feel good or something,
right.
Then we played it safe. And the one time we had the COVID scare, I mean, this is, we've been, very religious to.
We're one of the most consistent podcasts out there.
I think it works out, obviously we're best friends and everything. So it really works out because, not only is it good to see you every week, it's also just a great way to just like reset the week and everything like that. So, I mean, this is something I think has been good for both of our mental health. But, yeah, this is going to be a big break. We're taking a full 2 weeks off. Number one, because I'm getting married and I need time off for the honeymoon.
Absolutely.
And then you're going to go on a trip of your own.
Yep. I'm going to London.
Yeah.
Big trip there. Going to visit my girlfriend's sister in school over there. So that's good.
I mean,
that's a big thing.
Yeah, this is
going to be, I wasn't going to think that much about it, but now I'm like, man, 2 weeks away from the podcast. You're right. It's super weird.
It is. I know.
It's been like 9 years. We've seen each other consistently week in, week out.
Right. And like if there was a break, it was just, something, it's
right.
It was more incidental. It was more like, it's like one of us wasn't feeling good or you had just a trip down the shore or something like that. Like,
it was always my trips down the shore.
Or something. I mean, no, I wonder if I think I had some.
You probably had one or two.
Probably one of the game show marathons or something.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, game show marathon is going to come back in June.
There you go.
Subtle plug there.
Right around the corner.
But yeah, so this is going to be, this is why we keep saying it's like the season finale, because this is going to be it for a while. We're going to take a little bit of a hiatus, a nice little break.
But we're going to come back better than ever.
Yeah.
Well rested. Lots of news to get to.
Yeah, we will at that point.
And,
but
and it's going to be like jumping right back on the bike. You never forget,
I don't know, Mike. I know sometimes you're
I can barely hold it together when we do this thing weekly.
Yeah.
We might come back and I'll be like, welcome to the, and like come
What
up with
is
a
this?
completely different name.
Welcome to the TV show.
The TV.
Are we on Comcast?
We on the we are on the Comcast. Yeah.
This is just want to put that out there as our official programming note that we are taking a pretty big hiatus here. I think I wrote it down and I forgot where I put it. What was our official return date?
Hold on, I have a calendar.
Yeah, right. Who's got the calendar?
Okay, so our official return date,
May 11th.
May
If
11th.
I got that right.
Yes, May 11th. We'll have a new episode. So yeah, wow,
it almost feels like a full month.
that is
Right now. So we record this, usually on a Tuesday or maybe Wednesday if we have late breaking news and we decide to push it or something like that. For us, it's gonna feel like a full month. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, we've never not done it for that long. That's weird. Great. Now I'm gonna be all weirded out. There's so much more pressure now.
Yes.
It has to be perfect.
Right, Mike. Do perfect.
Ah!
You're not doing perfect.
I wish I had a tie to straighten it.
I'll tell you what, the Ghost T-shirt is perfect though.
I did it for you.
I appreciate the fact you're wearing the Ghost T-shirt.
Yeah, I got a rep. I mean, this is a big week for you. Birthdays and Easter and wedding. I'm like, this is the week of Rich.
Oh, thank you.
The week of Rich.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of things happening this week. I'm getting little to no sleep. Everyone's feeding me food. It's crazy. It is a bizarre week, but
Everyone's feeding you food. I just have this image of people just walking by, just like pushing food into your face.
Thank you.
You're like, oh, yeah, thank you for your donation.
Yes, thank you. But no, it's all for that. The great thing about this hiatus is it's all for good causes.
Yes, absolutely.
None of it is anything bad. We're both doing our own separate plans here, and they're all very rewarding and everything. So. That's the best part is, there is a hiatus, but it's all on good terms. We'll be back hitting you with news coming back when we return in May. So that'll be interesting. But you know what? You're right. We do have one show left here in the can. That's right. We gotta shoot it right now.
And we gotta shoot our shot. We got a lot to get to, and we gotta start things off with a little bit of sports news in the Sports Sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports. In your face. Ha ha!
Sports coming at you in your face. And Mike kind of noticed that it's kind of like we have a little bit of odd news bleeding into every segment of the show today. So this is interesting. And this 2-minute drill is indicative of that. So, Mikey, what is the 2-minute drill headline?
Well, this one came from the desk of Rich. He sent me this weird USFL news. This is a new football league that's happening.
Yeah,
all of a sudden, there's 3 football leagues.
Well, I mean, they're trying to kind of be like the minor leagues.
Like, I close my eyes and I open them, and all of a sudden, there's the XFL is back, the USFL is on. On Easter, I was like, why is football on? It's a USFL. I'm like, what is happening? But there's some weird news coming out of the USFL. The Pittsburgh Maulers.
What a name.
That's like a really aggressive name, right?
Yeah. They're coming to get you.
But the Pittsburgh Maulers mauled one of their own. They cut running back Devian Smith because he wanted pizza at the team hotel instead of the team choice of chicken salad. He wanted pizza, Rich. Can you believe this?
How dare you? How dare you break away from
this
the team?
Betrayal. This treachery to want pizza instead of chicken salad. How dare he?
Yes. He should have been liquidated.
Liquidated?
Yeah, how do you like that?
Wow.
Put him in a vat of acid.
Wow, yeah, I mean, clearly. I mean, what if he, man, how strict are the Pitts? I mean, their name is the Maulers. Like, they're a pretty intense organization, but they cut a guy over pizza.
Yeah. So
in the NFL, you can literally, I don't know, anything short of murder is pretty much good to go.
Yeah, so the coach said that he was being disrespectful to the rest of the team by trying to get his own dinner away from the team-sponsored chicken salad dinner that was being offered to the rest of the team.
Okay, here's my question. Was he going to eat the pizza with the team?
I guess.
Because what happens if one of them is a vegetarian or pescatarian? They can't eat chicken.
Yeah.
Are you gonna cut those players?
Are they Yeah. Isn't he looking out for them with pizza?
Yeah,
I
right.
like that.
I think this is weird to me.
Yes. Hire that man for another team. Because obviously the Pittsburgh Maulers don't see what they have in them.
I'm just saying, where does it stop? What if they're like, for dessert, we want peanut butter, and some guy's like, I am deathly allergic to peanut butter. They're like, you're cut.
Yeah, sorry, you're
Like,
not with the team.
Like, where does it stop?
Yeah, it's bizarre. It was a bizarre news headline that came across my feed, and I was
Cut
like,
a
we
guy
gotta,
for pizza.
we got to talk about that one.
And
that
also,
was,
just side note, pizza, chicken salad. I mean, it's pizza, right?
yeah, and
Like, I like a good chicken salad, but it's pizza every time.
This was for dinner.
Right.
Why is chicken salad on the menu? That's more like a lunch thing.
I feel like that's like you go to a deli, you get a chicken salad sandwich.
Yeah.
Right?
That's not a dinner.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
But do you agree with me? 9 times out of 10, it's pizza.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Pizza's the right way to go.
Absolutely.
But I bet you there was probably some like nutritionist or something that was like,
I
can't
mean,
do that.
chicken salad would definitely be better than pizza nutritionally, but these are also like athletes that eat 5,000 calories a day. So like, go for it, man.
Yeah, come on. Let them have their pizza.
Let them carbo load before the game.
Yeah,
You know?
well, unfortunately, he won't have that chance with the Pittsburgh Maulers as he's no longer on the team simply because of that decision.
Bunch of bums.
It is, and you know what the weird part is there's a video clip of this happening because apparently the USFL was shooting their own like documentary. What's the one on HBO?
I don't know.
There's the one
Like Hard Knocks?
Hard Knocks, yeah. Like they were trying to do a Hard Knocks
Oh,
documentary.
USFL Hard Knocks?
Right.
Like less Hard Knocks?
Less than Hard Knocks.
Less than Hard Knocks?
Soft knocks.
Mild Knocks?
Mildly soft knocks.
Mildly soft knocks.
Yes. And they had a crew there, so if you want to see,
So they filmed him getting cut?
Yeah.
How did it
because-
happen? Like he's eating pizza and the coach just storms and he's like, "You're out of here, kid."
No, they actually like sit him down and was like, "We heard of your actions.
Your
It's-
actions?
Yeah.
Like what? Calling Domino's? How dare
How
you?
dare you call Domino's? Yeah. At a time like this.
Your actions.
Now, actually,
Oh, God.
whoever is like, I don't know, whoever's close by or wants to do an ads campaign, Domino's, Papa John's, get in contact with Devian
yeah.
Smith and should.
It's so good, it's worth getting cut over. And then you take a big bite of pizza.
It writes itself. The
There you
script
go.
writes itself. There you go.
I'd be, like a local pizza place should get on
Yeah.
that, you know?
Some pizza joint get
Some like
in-
mom and pop's place, you know? Like Domino's, they already got their advertising, but like Bob's Pizza in Pittsburgh or whatever, you know?
Well, it shouldn't be Pittsburgh. It should be whatever team he ends up on.
Oh,
now.
whatever team. Oh, that's right. Whatever team he.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you
so
go.
there you go. There's your ad campaign right then and there. Free ad ideas right here. Crispy Noodle.
We're now an ad agency.
Take that. You know what else? I also think we're a common sense agency here on the Crispy Noodle podcast.
Definitely.
Because I read this story and it kind of pissed me off. So you know what? Actually, this is a pissing me off segment. So yeah, this is what's pissing me off in the sports sampler.
And it's element left and element right. Come on, let me get your right step right. Get off stage, goddamn goof, you know. Piss me off, and jerk. Get on my nerves.
Yeah, this is our last episode for a while. Let's play some music, that we're not going to hear for a while. Yeah, this is pissing me off.
All right, Rich. What's pissing you off? Let us have it.
Yeah, so the official piss me off music there. Thank you very much. All right, so this comes from the world of baseball. This is the story with Clayton Kershaw, if you're familiar with this. Last week, he pitched 7 perfect innings for the Dodgers, and I need to stress this very much so in case you're just kind of listening to this in the background or something. He pitched 7 perfect innings.
That's not a no-hitter.
Perfect.
Right, that's not a no-hitter. That's, what'd you say, 21 up, 21 down?
21 men up, 21 men down.
Yeah.
So he is on track for a perfect game, which there's only been 22, 23 in baseball history. And as Mike likes to say, there's 162 games a season, and they've been around for 140 years.
It's like 40 billion games played.
So
probably.
That's how rare this is.
Yeah.
So he's having a fantastic game, perfect game. But here's the backstory behind Clayton Kershaw. He's 34 years old, so he's a little old, a little long in the teeth there. Unfortunately, the last 5 seasons, he's found himself on the injury report at some point during the season, so he does have some nagging issues. including a problem with his flexor tendon at the end of last season, which pretty much took him out of commission for the last couple weeks of last season. So obviously his health is a concern. You don't want to lose, especially an ace pitcher like this early in the season. But, here's the stats. Kershaw, after 7 full innings and all perfect, 21 men up, 21 men down, he was only 80 pitches in, had 13 strikeouts, and the score was 3-0. I mean, it's not completely ironclad, but that's a pretty good lead, to experiment and stuff. But unfortunately, in this weird age of analytics and, I don't know, data, spreadsheets, and all this crap, the Dodgers manager, Dave Roberts, said that he was very worried about his past injuries. He didn't want him to get hurt. The weather was also unusually cold. He was worried that may have played some factor in re-injuring himself. And he noted that in that 7th inning, his velocity was falling below 90 miles per hour in that 7th inning. So, and also he was worried about the game itself. 3-0 isn't ironclad. It isn't foolproof, so he decided to pull him after the 7th inning. I'm sorry. That's rough. That is rough.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I think it's unforgivable. It pissed me off. You got to let him chase history.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something you can go down in the record books for, you know, and Roberts just being literally cold on that day, I guess, both temperature-wise and with his decision-making, did the calculations there and said it's not worth him getting injured, which is I find very disappointing. This is a move that I think is going to hurt that team and is going to be remembered as just one of those, why did you do that? Just let the man go. You're 6 outs away from a perfect game. Let him go for it. Yeah.
So, this is a tough one. I'm of two minds because I agree in that I think this is my main problem with it, is that analytics is great and all that, whatever, but it can also sometimes fail the eye test, right? So you got to look at the context of what's happening in front of you. So maybe the numbers don't favor him, but if analytics was the end-all, be-all, 100% surefire way to predict outcomes, the Eagles would have won every single Super Bowl between 2017 and now, because the Eagles are like one of the biggest analytics teams in football, right? Analytics doesn't necessarily equate to success or necessarily the right answer. You have to trust the eye test sometimes. You got to look at what's in front of you. 80 pitches, not that many pitches. I mean, usually at this point in a game, pitchers are up past 100.
Yeah, they're usually in triple digits, yeah.
So, he's doing all right on the pitch count. Now, yes, you have a point here, the cold weather, the injury history, close game. You want him for later in the season. There's a whole bunch of extenuating circumstances. I can kind of see where he's coming from. But this is the moment where you have to go to your player and be like, how do you feel? How's the arm?
Yeah. And by the way, Clayton Kershaw said after the game he was a little disappointed. He thought he could go for it.
Now, here's the tough thing, because if he lets him stay in the game, all it takes is one bad pitch and you throw out your arm. That's it. So I understand the hesitance, but that could happen on the first pitch of a game too.
Yeah.
Like, yes, the odds go up the more pitches you throw, but if he's feeling good, if he's feeling strong, let him start the 8th at least. Let him start the 8th, see how it goes. Gives up one hit, then you pull him. Then you have a reason to pull him.
Right. The moment he gives up a hit, then you can, all right, you can run to the mound and get him out.
Odds are he's going to give it up soon. If his velocity is falling and it's cold out and he's old and injured, he's going to give up one in the next 10, 11 pitches. Just let him play the 8th.
But see, this is the thing. It's almost like a win-win situation. If he does give up a hit, perfect. All right, get the guy, get someone from the bullpen.
Yeah.
Get him in there. But if he doesn't, he's knocking on history's door.
Yeah.
You got to let him go for it.
I think what they were afraid of is what happens if he pitches the 8th perfectly and then the 9th starts and then it all goes catastrophically wrong. Like his velocity really starts to drop. You know, he's really pushing himself. It keeps getting colder. Then you really risk it, you know, have the risk of injury. Then they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. But I agree, though, overall.
History.
I agree, though, overall, that you got to let him at least try. Go to him and say, you got 10 more pitches, make it count. Something like that. I don't know.
Sure, but, you know, I think you're overlooking the value of a perfect game. That doesn't happen.
Oh, no, I agree with you. They should let him try for it.
It is that alone. Pitching a perfect game is almost criteria to get you a one-way ticket straight to the Hall of Fame. Like it is so rare to pitch a perfect game. You know, to have that accomplishment in your, you know, as a feather in your cap when you look back on your career and retire, that's a gemstone that very few people have. That is historic. I can't believe you would be willing to take that shot away from him.
You know,
because you're worried he's going to injure himself.
Something just dawned on me, though. You're right. It is so rare. How many games have gone into the 8th as perfect games and ended up not being perfect games? I mean, you're a gambling man.
Yeah, take the risk.
Take the risk? What are the odds on that, though?
You got to let it ride. That's a situation you let. 7 perfect innings. He's made it this far. You got to let it ride.
I would like to see the statistics of how many games go 7 perfect innings and don't end up perfect games. I'm just saying I agree with you that you should let him.
So even a walk. If he walks somebody, there you go. Take him out.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let him start the 8th. See how it goes. You know, if you're really concerned, I don't know.
I think it's tough. I think you got to let it go.
Well, okay, what happens if he injures himself in the 9th?
If he
and then he's ruined for the rest of the season because then the conversation's different. Then it flips around. Why didn't you pull him? You knew the history of injury. You know, that's
if you did. But at least I could understand.
It's a win-win for Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah,
but it's a lose-lose for the team.
I just that is that's a tough pull to make.
It is.
I think you gotta let him ride. And also, by the way, Clayton Kershaw is 34 years old. He's an adult. He'll tell you whether or not, hey, I'm not feeling this.
No, athletes won't do that.
No, I mean, he's got to.
They won't.
He's 34 years old.
They won't, though.
If he was like a young gun rookie, okay, maybe I can also see that argument. You don't know what's good for you.
All right,
but he's 34.
34. You would hope that at 34, you know, you're the limits of your body.
Yeah.
You know.
And
yeah.
You know, see, my thing is that I saw the interview with Clayton Kershaw after that moment, and he definitely looked disappointed. Like, at least give me the shot. At least let me make the decision.
Yeah.
And they're up 3-0. I mean, the moment there is a runner on base, all right, that's it.
Then you have grounds to pull him.
Yeah. Then you're good to go. Bail him out. You know, then don't take the risk. But for the time being, it was 3-0. That's pretty much a safe lead at that point. I just think that was a lose-lose.
So if you
turned a win, somehow you turned a win-win to a lose-lose, in my opinion.
So if you look at, on average, how many pitches per inning, you're looking at like 11-ish, 12 pitches per inning. He probably could have wrapped up the game under 105 pitches.
If he's consistently taking people down, yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
I say
13 strikeouts.
I say you go to him and you say, you have a conditional 8th. The first sign of trouble, you're getting pulled. Mm-hmm. You let him pitch, at least start the 8th inning.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
Right.
Then, if his pitch count starts climbing, as soon as you get close to 100, I'm sorry, whatever the perfect game standing is, he's out. Yeah, that's the compromise.
Okay, wait a minute. So this might be where we disagree. So now you're saying if he climbs closer to 100,
because they're saying his velocity was falling and his pitch count was getting high. If both those trends continue,
but if he still has the perfect game going, you would pull him?
Because then you actually risk either injury or losing the game.
Mike, I don't know, man.
Okay, you got to think about winning the game, though. What's the clip you always play? You play to win the game. Are records about winning? Are records about winning?
The season record is. But when you're dancing with history,
okay,
you gotta do the dance. If history lays its hand out for an extension to do the dance, you got to do the dance.
What?
The chances, at least let me see him go. Let me see him go for it. You know, if the moment he gets the moment a runner gets on base, all right, I see. Yeah, pull him out, get the reliever in there, everything like that. But if he's going, you gotta let him go for it. 6 outs. He was so close.
He was very close.
Oh, I feel bad for Clayton Kershaw. He should at least had the chance.
I do too. And ultimately, I agree that he should have been allowed to continue the game. At the first sign of trouble, and my first sign of trouble is, I think, more cautious than yours. I think, given his history of what you've described, you have to pull him. But you let him at least try.
I don't know. If I like my analogy. If history gives you the hand, you got to reach for it. You got to.
What if the hand is secretly a bear trap?
Whoa. Wow. That really
What
got
happens?
out of hand.
What happens if the last pitch of the perfect game, his arm comes off? It just falls off.
Falls off?
The tendons, all the tendons,
Wow.
just snap.
That flexor
His
tendon
arm,
didn't come
just
through.
comes off.
That's not good there.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
And instead of the ball leaving the hand, the entire hand just goes down.
Does the batter still swing at it?
I think the batter's just too confused. The batter's like, there's like a weird rule in the rule book that if you hit somebody with a bat, you like get disqualified. And because the bat made contact with the dismembered hand, it counts as hitting the other player. So actually he gets disqualified.
Or no. This is the Hollywood ending. The hand comes off, but the ball somehow is still attached to the arm. And as the batter is confused as hell, the arm still goes through the strike zone. Perfect game!
The catcher just catches the other hand, and the arm is just sticking out.
Strike out!
Or what if the batter swings at it, hits it, as the arm is careening through the air, the pitcher jumps up with his nub and reattaches the arm, and it's an out. And he gets the perfect game.
Oh, man, I don't know. This is like some weird Walking Dead scenario.
The more and more we talk about this, the more I think he should have been allowed to continue.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah, just let him go. Let him go. Have fun. Try and get that perfect game.
I think he was fine to continue on as well.
All right,
But
so there you go.
Speaking of wacky comments, though, we got to talk about...
Yeah, we're moving from one thing to another.
There's a lot of weird stuff happening, especially weirdo Ben McAdoo.
Hey, remember Ben McAdoo?
Briefly.
Remember that time that we really wanted him to be the Philadelphia head coach?
Yeah.
Remember that?
I do.
Does anybody remember that?
I do, but
because this is awkward now.
It's super awkward because he doesn't know how to give interviews.
No. He apparently blew it.
Yeah.
Already. His first interview as the new offensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers, he was supposed to apparently not, he's supposed to kind of give like your traditional like answer, like, we're having a quarterback competition, we're analyzing all of our quarterbacks. We're going to make the best decision for the team, yada, yada, yada. And instead, instinctively, Ben McAdoo apparently pronounces Sam Darnold as the starting quarterback and then admits that, it's probably something he shouldn't have said. So
Whoops.
Here we go. We have the quick TikTok edited video here for you. This is true. This is his first press conference as the offensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers.
And you look at Sam as your starting quarterback?
Sam is our starting quarterback, yes.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
One of the things I've been working on is being better talking to you people. So, announcing the starting quarterback here, I just put my foot in the mouth. So that wasn't something I should have said.
Yeah, there you go. I was trying to talk fancy to you peoples.
This is such a boneheaded move. Now, here's the thing. The Panthers don't really have anyone as quarterback, so it's not crazy for him to say that Sam Darnold's going to be the starting quarterback, but it's not the immediate what you think might be wrong with it. What really this does is has off-the-field issues. Now, the Panthers have basically eliminated themselves from any sort of wiggle room or bargaining power when it comes to draft day trades.
Yeah,
right.
Which is happening during the time we're off.
Right, exactly. Carolina's like, oh, we're going to jump ahead of you to get that quarterback unless you give us something to trade. You know what? They've lost that sort of bargaining chip. Now, maybe other quarterbacks who are on the fence in free agency are looking for trades. Maybe they don't want to go to Carolina now that a starting quarterback has supposedly been announced. What happens if something happens and some young guy comes up through training camp and starts to look better? Then all of a sudden you got to backtrack on that statement.
He's already backtracking within the first 2 minutes of his first interview.
So it's not so much the on the field implications. It's all the behind the scenes organizational stuff that causes complications here. It makes the organization look stupid.
Yeah, I'm going to say it right here. Ben McAdoo is right now the NFL's version of Orson Welles.
The French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence.
Sam Darnold is our quarterback.
That's what he sounded like.
I don't know. Yeah, well, you people, I don't know. What do you want from me?
The French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence.
Yeah, we're trying to have excellence here, Carolina. I don't know. What do you want from me? I don't know. Look, I'm going to go right to the point on this one. Carolina, you're in for a rough season.
Yeah.
Give me one good thing that is happening with the Carolina Panthers organization.
Fun sound clips.
I cannot give you one actual positive thing with the Carolina Panthers.
Well, you pointed out to me that they openly admitted they're basically done for the season.
There was already a news report saying that remember that time we were very excited, all the trades happening, and Russell Wilson got traded and everything like that. There was already a report saying that the Carolina front office was, quote, disinterested in the upcoming season, so that's interesting. You have Sam Darnold possibly as your starting quarterback, possibly not. You have an offensive coordinator that has no idea what it should say. You have the Carolina Panthers reneging on a training facility deal. We didn't put that in the rundown, but they were supposed to have this really big, fancy training facility completed for the team. It was something like a $450 million investment, and they announced that they're going to take the money back, and thank you very much. We're not going to do that anymore. Sorry. Christian McCaffrey is constantly injured. I mean,
it's not looking good. And yeah,
you have Tom Brady coming back into your division.
Yeah, I think Tom Brady made that announcement, and Carolina just threw in the towel. They're like, all right, we're just gonna let it ride this season, see where everything lands. And
isn't your friend Chris a big Carolina Panthers fan?
Yes, he is. Yeah,
I'm sorry, Chris.
It's been rough going for them. I can't say anything though because it's been rough going for the Eagles, but not as rough.
No.
The Panthers are way.
No.
I
the
know.
Eagles at least may have some hope.
We have talent.
Maybe Jalen Hurts could be the answer. There is at least a goal. There is a light. There is something that we can possibly believe in.
We made it to the playoffs.
There's something there that maybe we could reach onto it. It could be a false oasis, but maybe it's there. The Panthers are in the dark. There is nothing going for this team. I don't know how you sell this. If I'm a scout, if I'm a coach for the Carolina Panthers, I don't know what my pitch is to like the NFL draft coming up.
Yeah.
Hey, join the Carolina Panthers. We got
a sack of money.
Woo! That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I like your analysis of, maybe they're heading towards an oasis with the Eagles because the Eagles are at least targeting something. The Panthers are just laying down in the sand and hoping to die.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing going for this franchise.
Yeah.
On the field, off the field, the roster, it's bizarre when you really think about it.
It, to me, reeks of a team who has already thrown in the towel, and they're just content to let it ride and just,
And I'm
just let the season play out, purge the roster of big, contracts and older players, and basically they're just gonna let it play. They're just gonna let it play out.
Yeah, and
why waste the capital and the energy and the effort because this, it's yeah, they've just given up already.
So I'm just gonna put this out here. If you're looking for a dark horse candidate for who's going to have the worst record in 2022, 2023, I could see it being in Carolina, man.
Really?
Because, look, to get the worst record in the league, it's got to be not just your team is bad. It's got to be like it's got to be a rot within the franchise and the motivation. And that's what I see when I see these news stories with Carolina.
Like
between
other teams are making like
They're
plays
trying.
in
They're
the off season. Like
yeah, the off season, or as the NFL says, the
Non-playing.
non-playing season. At least there should be hope for all the 32 teams. Everybody is 0-0.
They're trying. Everybody's trying to do something, but Carolina doesn't seem like they're trying to do anything.
No, I mean they've actively pulled funding from their fancy practice facility that they were going to have built.
That's openly admitting like we're not even going to bother training.
Yeah, sorry, we're not going to invest in training. Sorry, have fun back at the stadium. So. Look, even the Bengals are getting. Did you hear the Bengals are finally getting an indoor practice facility?
Good for them.
Yeah, I mean, look, they made it to the Super Bowl. I think that does warrant.
Now's the time
like
that they should start. Yeah, they really got to.
It only took a Super Bowl run for Cincinnati to invest in their practice facilities.
Yeah.
So Carolina, until that happens, I think you guys are just stuck. Good luck.
Well. Maybe Carolina can turn it around with the NFL draft approaching. That's right. The NFL draft is happening while we're going to be away.
Yeah.
So we'll give you guys all of the news and talk about the Eagles draft picks when we come back from
give you our analysis
the
and all that
break. But we want to give you a little bit of a preview here just to get everybody up to speed on what's happening for the Eagles and just in the draft in general. So the Eagles have 2 mid-first round picks. With plenty of holes to fill. They have the 15th, I believe it's the 15th and the 18th overall pick. So, nothing too exciting, 2 pretty average picks, and not top 10 or anything. But I'm seeing a lot of buzz here. Some people think the Eagles are going to go wide receiver again in the first round. Rich, what do you think here?
Oh my gosh, that just made me have indigestion.
For a 3rd year in a row, a first-round wide receiver.
No.
Do you remember when we used to beg them to take a wide receiver in the first round? Now I'm almost like, okay, this is 3 straight seasons of a wide receiver in either the second or the first round, and only one of them so far has shown any potential, but has the wrong offense around him. So why more capital at the wide receiver position?
Yeah, I right. It's just been too many first-round picks for wide receivers.
I mean, what if it's best player available, though? Do you still go wide receiver?
No, I think the Eagles, if they're smart, they should go defensive line. They gotta the way that the defense is constructed is those front 4 have to get pressure to the quarterback, and then everything else kind of falls into place. And you're dealing with an aging Fletcher Cox. You're dealing with an aging.
Brandon Graham,
thank you very much.
Derek Barnett never really took off.
Right.
You do have some young guys coming up, but none of them are really like showstoppers. None of them are the same type of player as a Fletcher Cox or a Brandon Graham.
No, to me, this is a pick where the Eagles have to reinvest in the defensive line so that you can build your way out. Start with the inside and then build your way out on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, the second first-round pick, the one at 18, or maybe the one at 15, I'm not sure. It depends on wherever things land. It sounds to me like a Howie move that they would trade that one away.
Okay, so trade down.
Yeah,
out of the first round or just further down in the first round.
Either way, but that sounds like a Howie move to me, especially as kind of the sense in this league is that this draft is going to be very unpredictable and unreliable.
Yeah, that's another thing to talk about here. I'm just on NFL.com, just their draft tracker here, and I'm looking at the grades of the draft prospects, and there's only 1 or 2 guys that are rated at a year 1 starter level. Everyone else is in that like boomer bust type category or potentially a good starter.
So this is something everybody needs to be aware of. You may be the top 10 talent, but that doesn't mean you're ready to start yet because it depends on the actual quality of the person.
A lot of the buzz I've heard online, and I don't know, these armchair quarterbacks online, but a lot of people are saying, the top 10 picks in this draft would have fallen to the mid-first round or late first round in other drafts. I don't know. It's hard to say that because you also get gems in the 5th and the 6th and the 7th round. But it seems like overall, the pulse of this draft is a big, giant meh. There's not a lot of really like number 1, that's the guy.
Right.
I
mean, there's actually, in terms of... ESPN and them trying to create hype, there's actually been a fair amount of discussion as to what the Jaguars are going to do at number 1 overall.
Yeah, so a lot of teams...
Wouldn't that be something if on draft day, big trade for a number 1 or number 2 pick?
You can kind of judge what teams think about a draft by the number of moves happening. Remember when the Eagles jumped up to number 2 overall to grab Carson Wentz? There hasn't been a lot of moves other than the Eagles and the Saints basically swapping picks.
Yeah, really.
There hasn't been a lot of shuffling. We've heard a lot of rumors of teams wanting to trade down and trying to create a lot of smoke screens like, we're, somebody better trade for our pick or we're going to take the guy you want, and nobody's biting.
Yeah, and then you have Ben McAdoo ruining everything.
Yeah. Just totally blew up the draft order because now nobody has to worry about Carolina taking a quarter. Or maybe he's playing 4D chess. They're going to take a quarterback.
Sure. Have fun with that.
Apparently the quarterbacks are not strong this year.
They're cursed this year. Carolina's going to get...
Yeah.
It would not surprise me if they go, 1-16, 0-17. I just don't...
I don't think they go... I don't think they're that bad, but they're definitely like...
What... Give me the hype up speech for the Carolina Panthers.
We'll say this. They're definitely a single-hand number of wins this season. 5 or less.
Yeah. All right, and then one little fun note to end the draft preview and our sports talk on. And something I just noticed, in the top 10 picks, I don't know if did everybody realize this? That New York, between the Jets and the Giants, New York City gets 4 overall picks because you have the Jets at number 4 at number 10 overall, and the Giants at number 5 and number 7 overall.
Yeah, it's
Isn't
so
that weird?
It's very weird.
I don't know. I just had to bring that up. Is it just that seems weird to me?
I'm kind of annoyed that the Jets don't have the 6th pick because then the Jets would have 4 and 6, and the Giants would have 5 and 7, and it would be 4, 5,
New York,
6,
New York,
7.
New York, New York.
Yeah, next up, the New York with the 5th pick and New York with the 6th pick and different teams, but
yeah. Maybe it's a sign that the Jets should just merge with the Giants at this rate.
They share the same stadium. They share the same city. They're basically sharing the same picks. Guys, just do it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Just cut the bull. You're the same team.
And the
you
Jets
couldn't even muster up separate stadiums. Just do it.
Right now the Jets have the longest playoff drought. The last time they made the playoffs was 2011 with the Sanchez, as you call him, Matt Sanchez.
Yeah.
Yep, that was and by the way, so it goes them at 2011 and then Denver at 2016.
Wow.
So even that is a huge gap between 1 and 2 on the playoff drought list.
So look, just merging with the Giants would immediately
just do that.
Make it better.
And then you have room for a 32nd team. So there you go. Make a team in London.
Make a team in London or Mexico City or put a team back in San Diego.
Or
St. Louis.
Poor San Diego. Yeah, that's right. They got screwed.
Or Oakland.
Oh, Oakland too. Yeah, they got screwed too. But
so here's
that'd be weird.
Our official proposal. You merge the 2 New York teams because they're both bums.
Yeah.
And they share everything else. We'll even let them keep the draft picks. We'll give them 4 draft picks in the top 10. They need it. They need it, though. You could let them have both of their full rosters, and I still think that they would win less than 500 on the season. So let them keep all 4 top 10 picks. Let them keep 106 players on the roster. They're going to need them, and then you make a new team somewhere else. That's the official proposal. We should submit that to the owner's rules thing for next year.
There you go. That's what we're going to do. Make that a note and fax it over to Goodell.
That's right.
Take that, you
1-800-NFL.
Take that, you bastard. All right. So there you go. That will wrap up the Sports Sampler for now, but we still have crazy stories both in the entertainment entree and the non-fortune cookie odd news coming at you when we return from the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby, Barnes & Noble, and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
If you go to Taco Bell at 3 a.m, this is what you're going to get. Yeah,
that clip is already coming into play.
Yes, already. So there you go.
Stop.
What happened?
The thing went on.
Well, how did that turn on?
I don't know. The fart sound.
The fart sound turned Amazon on?
I think the fart sound turned on my Echo.
What the hell?
I don't know. It turned on.
What are you doing, Jeff Bezos? What are you into?
Bezos, he's listening to fart sounds.
He's listening to our fart sounds. Oh, my God.
I changed the trigger word to fart. I got to fart at it now. I don't know what happened.
That's really awkward. You're going to have to... Excuse me.
Excuse me. How can I help you?
You may need some bowel.
Do you want me to automatically order you Pepto-Bismol? I don't know why. I don't know why I'm talking to it solely through farts now.
It actually, you fart into it.
Fart once for yes and twice for no.
No. Actually, you fart into the device, and then Amazon can determine what medicine you need.
Oh, right. Wow. That's next level right there. Or what you've been eating and what you want to reorder. I detect Cheetos. Would you like to subscribe?
Would you like a bulk order of Cheetos?
Oh, yes, please.
Cheetos ordered.
Cheetos. That story took a turn.
Yeah.
Cheetos ordered.
Okay. All right. There you go. The latest from Jeff Bezos and Amazon.
It's amazing technology, I tell you.
Yeah.
The Game Show Marathon is back for another record-breaking year.
Watch as Game Show fans recreate 24 of their favorite game shows, all to raise money for Child's Play.
Child's Play helps and heals children in hospitals and domestic shelters through the power of play.
You can watch the fun go down on June 4, 2022.
And you can donate now
at GameShowMarathon.com.
Game Show Marathon.
Yeah, we're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. If you know this theme song, you will know some tidbits in Mike's This Week in Entertainment coming up in just a little bit. But as for us right now, joining back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast, it's, we're going to be away for a little bit, but, that's the part I am feeling a little bit sorry for. That we're not going to get a chance to cover the NFL draft like we usually do.
Yeah.
The last couple of years, but at the end of the day, we can still do a recap when we do get back to the podcast in May. So
yeah, it'll give us time to dwell on it.
Yeah,
to digest it.
Right. Give us some time to do some critical analysis.
Yeah.
On the draft and give you our opinions on that when we return in May. All right, but let's leave the sports realm and instead go to entertainment with the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
celebrities,
You really know Warren Beatty?
Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
and more.
You were the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's skip the teasing. Let's go right into what you should keep an eye out for this immediate weekend for TV, movies, and video games with Mike's This Week in Entertainment. All right. What are you going to talk about?
All right, well, there's a lot of great entertainment this week. So first off, in movies, we have The Northman coming to theaters. This is a classic historical epic of revenge. A Viking prince who is about to become a man is dealt a tragic blow when his uncle brutally murders his father and kidnaps his mother. 20 years later, the Viking prince remembers his vow to save his mother, kill his uncle, and avenge his father. Critics are enjoying it, with the movie earning an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes and an 82 out of 100 on Metacritic. So it looks really cool. Like I said, critics are loving it. Go check it out. That's The Northman, coming to theaters this week. But on streaming, The Batman comes to HBO Max this week as well. It's streaming now on HBO Max. This is another gritty reboot of Batman, except this one is actually pretty good. Critics enjoyed it, especially the focus on the detective aspects of Batman rather than the fisticuffs. This is a movie that positions itself as more of a chilling psychological crime thriller than a superhero action film.
Yeah, I heard that this is more like the Seven of comic book movies.
Yeah, I'm really interested to check it out. It got decent reviews. So if you have HBO Max, there's really no reason not to watch it. So go check out The Batman on HBO Max.
Although make sure you have breaks, because I heard it's like a 3-hour movie.
It is. So I looked it up before the show. It is 3 hours long.
Whew.
So people are saying it's good, but it's a little long. It overstays its welcome a tiny bit, which probably accounts for, not getting better review scores. But, watch it yourselves and judge.
Make sure you get those bathroom breaks in.
Yeah, that's the best part about the streaming
Yep.
bit. Because when you're in the theater, you miss the movie.
Yeah.
So
pause.
There you go. Get yourself a snack, go to the bathroom. Just like you can when it comes to television. There are 2 shows returning after long hiatuses. Russian Doll returns to Netflix for a second season.
Yeah, this one went under the radar for me. I didn't know that this was coming back until like yesterday.
Yeah, same here. I saw all of a sudden it was like, it's back. I was like, oh, okay, like no hype, no fanfare. It's been 3 years since the first season aired. The first
season was
season
really good.
It was
the
very
first
good.
One
got critical acclaim, a great emotional journey, really fun time paradox themes and plot elements. It had an ending that left you thinking about it and left you wondering what actually happens. And it gets very dark at times, but also it's like a very powerful emotional journey. So I hope that this second season continues with that direction. The cast returns, picking up 4 years after the events of the previous season as the characters explore their past using a time portal in New York. So it still has that weird time paradox narrative elements to it. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be very interesting. Check out Russian Doll on Netflix. And finally, of course, as our lead-in music to the entertainment entree would suggest, Barry is coming back to HBO this Sunday. Also, after 3 full years from the last season, I need to rewatch Barry and Russian Doll to know what in the hell is happening. But Barry, for me, is a must-watch. It is a show that just, it's so brilliant. It's a dark comedy, or a dramedy, rather, because it has dramatic elements as you watch the transformation of a former hitman into a wannabe actor, and all of the humor that goes along with that as he tries to cope with his past and current career choices.
Yep. Played by Bill Hader, who just hits it out of the park.
Amazing.
That's been one of the best shows I've watched in the past couple of years.
Oh, hands
down.
down.
So I'm so glad to see that it's back. Unfortunately, though, it's coming at a time where I'm at my most busiest, so I don't know if I'll be able to get to watch it.
Well, think of it this way. You miss a week or two, then when you return, you can catch up with a couple episodes in a row.
Yeah, but it feels like all my favorite shows came back during, like, the time I'm at my most busiest.
Yeah.
Because this came back. Also, personally for me, Mayans, the spinoff of Sons of Anarchy.
I did see that.
That came back. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm missing all my shows. But it's all I got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, exactly. Much bigger fish to fry.
So.
So that's what we're looking forward to this week in entertainment.
All right, thank you for that segment this week in entertainment. We kind of have some odd news in the entertainment entree. There's two kind of weird stories that I know Mike wants to talk about.
Yeah, so there's just weird stories everywhere this week, and it continues with the entertainment news. Netflix made a first-of-its-kind deal involving the game makers Exploding Kittens. For those of you...
You love that game.
I love that game. It's a fantastic game. It's a very simple, quick game to play where you try to avoid an exploding kitten. It's a card game. Strongly recommend it. But Netflix and Exploding Kittens is teaming up to launch both a game on the streaming platform and also an animated series in 2023 about said game. So this is, I know there's interactive movies and TV shows on Netflix, but this seems like it's the first actual game to launch on the service. Every subscriber gets access to single and multiplayer modes, all without additional fees or in-app purchases. So you can play the traditional Exploding Kittens card game right there in Netflix.
Is it going to be like the Jackbox games where like everybody has it on their cell phone?
I have no idea.
I would have to imagine it's got to be something like that.
Something
you
like
can't have
that.
it be on the screen.
Or maybe you just use whatever remote you have. I mean, I guess all you need is directional buttons and some sort of OK selector,
Yeah.
So I don't know. It remains to be seen how they implement it, but it's going to play exactly like the card game, except it has a few new cards and rules involved. And then here's the fun part. When the show premieres, they're going to add new cards and features to the game so that, as they put it, fans can bring the show to life. I don't know how they're going to make an animated show out of a card game about avoiding cats who cause explosions.
No, Mike. How do you not make a TV show about that?
I mean, you're right. I guess you're right. It would make, And, I trust the guys that make this game. It's the Oatmeal, one of my favorite online comic makers. He's fantastic. Go check it out. The game is coming out in May. So right around the corner, and then the animated series follows in 2023. So this is the first deal of its kind. Maybe we'll see more of this. Maybe we'll see like a Jackbox party pack thing.
If this works, I don't see why not.
What about other classic card and board games? It seems that is the next frontier for Netflix.
It's funny. We've always said somebody should do the Netflix of video games.
Why
doesn't just Netflix do it?
Why doesn't Netflix just do it? I mean, they have what seems to be the infrastructure to pull it off.
Yeah.
Start simple with card and board games, something that you don't need a lot of lightning fast reflexes for. I mean, could you imagine just playing like a casual board game with other Netflix subscribers? Because everybody has a subscription, right?
Or has access to
one. Right? Exactly. Well, they're going to be cracking down on that as a side news story, but let them try.
Yeah.
Bring it on, Netflix. But anyway, so that's the first weird kind of news story in the entertainment entree. The next weird news story, this is almost odd news, but I put it here because it was more entertainment and because I wasn't sure if Rich had stumbled across this one yet. But a Florida man...
What?
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
All right, this is getting too much.
I got to introduce a Florida man story.
Wait a minute. Florida man is now invading the entertainment entree portion of the show. They are occupying 2 out of our 3 main topics here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. I think that's a sign we do need to take a hiatus. Florida man is getting way too crazy.
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
They're not supposed to show up this early.
Yeah, right? Now I'm just checking to make sure there's no Florida mentions in the sports. No, there aren't.
No,
Carolina's
we
the closest
Carolina.
state. Damn.
Yeah.
So close.
Yeah. No, we can't have them take over the whole show.
No. That would be very scary.
But by that logic, does that mean we become Florida? Because they absolve our show? Oh, God!
We just become Florida.
Oh, no!
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
All right, now let's stick to this.
Yeah, so here is the headline. I feel like I'm reading the odd news here. So a Florida man reclaims his world record of, let me see if I can get this right, the most cinema productions attended for the same film by watching Spider-Man No Way Home 292 times. That's right. Ramiro Alanis from Florida watched...
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. He watched No Way Home in theaters 292 times between...
Oh, good for you.
Well, wait, this is where it gets crazy. Between December 16th and March 15th, the total runtime equates to about 720 hours, basically an entire month of Spider-Man. Now, he didn't keep track of expenses, but he thinks it's somewhere in the ballpark of $3,400.
Oh, my God.
To watch Spider-Man this many times.
All right, well, I know you're a big Spider-Man fan, but would you even think of coming close to this?
Not even close.
That's crazy.
Like, I'll watch, I think the most I've ever watched an Avengers or a Marvel movie in theaters is 3. So I'm 1/100th of what this guy has done, and I consider myself a pretty big fan. I watch pretty much all of them in theaters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so here are more of the details. So he was watching it back-to-back, equating to almost 12 and a half hours of a movie every day. He said he could recite the film's dialogue with the movie, which he did out loud during the final screening in an empty theater.
Oh, good. All right, good. There wasn't other people around.
Because here's the thing.
That would be annoying.
He had to do stuff to entertain himself because when you hear this is really the shocking part. Per the Guinness Book of World Records rules, he had to watch the movie from start to end, no sleeping or bathroom breaks. 11 of his watches were disqualified because of bathroom breaks. So he technically watched it
more.
Over 300 times.
Oh, my God.
He was not allowed to sleep or take bathroom breaks. He could not check his phone, and he had to stay through all the way to the end of the credits. And he also had to hold on to all of his ticket stubs and get a statement from a theater employee confirming he watched the film.
You just made up a word with confirming.
What did I say? Confirming?
That's how crazy this odd news story is.
Confirming he watched. Confirming. He
that
confirmed
sounds like
it.
it should be a word. Confirming.
I don't know what this guy did, but he confirmed something.
He confirmed something.
He confirmed.
He did this so intensely, Mikey had to make up a word for it.
I had to make up a word for it. He confirmed. So Rich, 292 times.
That's crazy.
No bathroom breaks, no phones, staying to the end of the credits, no sleeping. I don't know. He was saying that he was watching the movie 3 or 4 times a day.
All right, so it's nice to know that this guy doesn't have a job, doesn't have a life.
He apparently worked as a personal trainer. So I guess he just decided...
Personal training my way into the theater.
Yeah, I'm just not going to train anybody for an entire month.
That's nuts. This is crazy.
Also, $3,400?
That's you're wasting money. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah. So apparently he had the previous world record, originally seeing Avengers Endgame 191 times. That was broken, and so then he decided he had to reclaim the record. And so he basically, has let it be known, quote, "If anyone tries to break my record again, I want them to think twice before attempting it," end quote. So he's determined to hold on to this record. I don't think there's any limit, for his movie watching habits.
Great. And this is why no original movies are being made in the theater.
I mean, he alone, that is a sizable chunk of cash for, that's just insane. Just insane. So there you go.
Right.
That's almost an odd news story.
Yeah. I did actually see that in my odd news feed, but I had a feeling that maybe you would stumble across that on your own. So I'm glad you brought that up because I have other news stories in the odd news. But one more topic in the entertainment world, and it does kind of fit with Spider-Man because instead of Spider-Man, we're jumping to another superhero movie, Thor loved.
What did he love, Rich?
Thor loved, coming to you this summer.
What did he love, and why doesn't he love it anymore? It's past tense.
It's a rom-com coming this summer. Thor loved.
It seems like it.
No, Thor Love and Thunder, the first teaser of this movie coming out. Coming out actually relatively soon, too, this summer.
Yeah, it comes out in July. All of a sudden, I was shocked. I was like, wait a second. Multiverse of Madness is coming out early May, and then Love and Thunder comes out in early July.
Yeah,
I was kind of caught off guard.
Getting hit with this multiverse.
Yeah. So this, I love the trailer. Had that great, like, classic Marvel vibe where it's got the humor, it's got the action all rolled into one. We got a few first glimpses. We saw the Marvel version of Mount Olympus. And we're going to get introduced to characters like Zeus from the Marvel Universe. And many people think we'll also get to see Hercules. We get to see King Valkyrie or Queen Valkyrie in New Asgard on Earth.
Yep.
So that was a kind of a cool teaser there. We got the rock guy Korg is back, fan favorite.
Yep, everybody loves him.
Yeah, everybody loves him. We also get some glimpses into potential narrative elements of the movie as well. So we see Thor giving up his heroics for a peaceful sort of existence. This is a movie about, self-discovery. People online are saying, Thor is secretly one of the heroes who lost the most. Lost his father, lost his kingdom, lost his rulership, lost his brother. And so now it's, what does he do when he's lost all that and you defeat the final big bad? I guess he hangs up. He discovers when you strip away all that, what are you? Who are you? So I'm kind of interested to see where that goes and then what ultimately pulls him out of that peaceful existence, because obviously he's got to come back. And they teased Gore the God Butcher. This is such a cool name and such a cool concept for a villain. I did a little bit of a Marvel research deep dive, as I always do when these things come up. Gore the God Butcher, had some tragedy befall him, constantly prayed to the gods. The gods never answered, so he said, cool, I'm just going to kill the gods then, because clearly we don't need them. And that's what he does. This is full-on God of War Kratos style, just seeking revenge on multiple pantheons of gods. So, I mean, what better villain for a god who is tired of being a god to face up against?
And I imagine Peter Quill's going to have some quips on that name.
Oh, absolutely.
I love the fact Guardians are in this movie.
I'm really excited to see how they're involved.
Yeah.
And to see how that kind of bridges the gap between these movies, because Guardians, for the most part, were kind of separate from everything and then got pulled in the final Avengers movies.
Right.
So I'm really, really interested in this team up comedy gold between Star-Lord and Thor. So I can't wait to see that on display again. And then, of course, the big reveal at the end of the trailer.
Yep.
Jane Foster, Natalie Portman returning as Lady Thor.
Yeah, and she can wield
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. I can never say it right.
Yeah, you got to brush up on your Marvel, Rich. We got 2 movies coming up in like a month and a half.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So this is super exciting and super interesting. It's not tied to the multiverse at all. This is something in my research that I've found out that happens in the comics. Jane Foster, after Thor gives up his godhood, picks up the mantle. She finds that she is worthy for some reason, and she's able to wield Mjolnir. In the comics, she's suffering from terminal illnesses, and becoming Lady Thor lets her sort of like push aside the terminal illness, but when she leaves that godhood, it like comes back twice as the terminal illness comes back twice as potent. So every time she picks up the hammer and turns into Lady Thor, she's inevitably making her terminal illness worse.
Oh.
So it's kind of that like balance there. Is this where Jane Foster finally meets her end and Thor, suffers another loss?
That would be fitting too.
It does super fitting, right?
It's funny you mention that. It does seem like every movie Thor loses something major,
and everybody doesn't realize it. It just gets played off as laughs. But like he's lost a lot. Like Captain America didn't get to hang out with his girl, and
right.
like everyone's like, oh, so
Iron
sad.
Man lost his mansion. Oh, boo hoo.
Boo hoo. Thor literally
lost insurance.
Thor lost his homeworld, his entire family, and almost his godlike abilities, and everyone's like, Thor's fat.
Yeah, that's the thing everybody remembers.
I didn't think about it at the time, but this dude's dealing with some stuff.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how they deal with this in Thor: Love and Thunder, how they deal with Jane Foster, how it all comes together. and how it ties into the other movies. Because, again, these events are not multiversal related. So how does, if at all, this tie into the multiverse?
Maybe it doesn't tie into the multiverse, but I have to imagine there's some overarching feature in this that's going to tie into the other storylines.
Yeah. So, as always, really excited to see how it all comes together. So, there you go. I just rambled a lot about the teaser trailer. Rich, did you enjoy it?
I did. I mean, it was only, a short teaser.
Right.
But there was some nuggets in there that whet the appetite, and I'm excited too. I think it looks good. Looks good. I'm happy to see everybody back together, and like you said, man, it's going to be we're getting hit from multiple directions on Phase 4 here from Marvel.
Yeah, I think the hiatus during COVID from Marvel movies has left everyone super hungry for them because I am so excited for Multiverse of Madness and Thor: Love and Thunder. Let's go MCU.
All right. Well, you know what else you should be excited about?
What's that?
The non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing!
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Manda basata. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts! That'll be $4, baby! You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at meat tornado.
No, go past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders, go to the bathroom, because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Woo! Odd news.
That's right. Why are you looking at me so funny?
This odd news story is good.
Okay, I'm alarmed already, and all of you should be too, because it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news. Here in this segment, Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story and
You're
keeps
gonna like it.
And oh God, okay. And he keeps it hidden from me, and I'm gonna like it apparently.
You know what's funny? I didn't even realize this.
What?
This should have been a sports odd news story. So the odd
are
news,
we batting for the psych?
I feel
that's
like
a term,
we
right?
are.
Yeah.
Or the multiverse of odd news is bleeding into all of our segments.
Oh my gosh, is this a Marvel crossover all of a sudden?
I don't know. We need. Maybe this hiatus is much needed. Everything is bleeding into each other.
There's too much oddity. We need to hit the reset button.
Yeah.
Before the whole thing becomes odd.
Yeah, and again, it's Florida.
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
Florida has officially bled into almost every part of our podcast.
Oh my gosh, this is terrifying.
Yeah, so we may have to cleanse ourselves. That's what we have to do with this hiatus.
We're going on a cleanse.
Yeah, we need a cleanse after this. The reason why I say this could have been in the sports sampler is because this has to deal with golf. Woo!
Okay,
golf
odd news. We've had stories of that before.
Yes. We are going to talk about the case of Nathan Rodney Nelson, who is from Florida, and he's 50.
I like to kick, stretch, and kick. I'm 50. 50 years old.
I knew I had to.
50.
I knew I had to play that clip the moment I saw he was 50.
I'm 50. 50 years old.
Woo!
I love that. I'm 50.
Yeah, take that.
I like to kick, stretch, and kick. I'm 50. 50 years old.
Sally O'Malley.
So
50 years old.
So is this guy? Does he like to kick? And what is he doing?
Well, I guess he has to, kick and stretch on his way to stealing.
Okay.
Because this guy may go down in history as a prolific thief in Florida. It turns out that this man, over the course of the last 4 years, with COVID, everyone had to take up a hobby during COVID.
That's true. That's true.
Over the last 4 years, he went onto various golf courses and stole a record number of golf carts off of the clubs.
What? How?
There was a bit of a nastiness last night, yes? Some very extreme nastiness, yes? Yes.
Yes.
What is a record number of you said golf carts?
Golf carts.
Okay, I just want to make sure I heard you correctly. Golf, like the giant things.
The carts.
That you can't really hide in a shirt or in pants. You have to drive them off the golf course, right?
Yep.
What is a record number?
So, according to police, they estimate that his final tally of the last 4 years is that he stole 84 golf carts in the last 4 years. Wow.
84?
I'm not actually mad at this dude. I'm impressed.
I don't know what number I was expecting, but that is more than whatever I imagined.
It's about to get all stupid up in here!
Yeah.
When you said a record number, I was like 20, 30. That's a lot of golf carts. 84? That's 21 a year. That's almost 2 a month.
This dude is prolific.
I've never been to a golf course, but I imagine they frown upon you driving those out of the golf course.
I just imagine him just yeeting away.
Just like puts it in the first gear.
Bye.
Now, I've driven a golf cart before. They're not that fast.
So long, suckers.
But also, where is he keeping all the golf carts? 84 golf... Oh, no.
So you were wondering, what did he do with all these golf carts? Well, this guy is smart. He decided to list them on Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
The old, you got to turn and make some profit with it. Oh, yeah, he was...
And nobody noticed for 4 years? Somebody's just randomly selling, like, dozens of golf carts? Like, I understand maybe, like, 1 or 2, but this dude's putting up new golf carts every single month? Like...
So Nelson sold the carts for around $2,000 to $2,500, which is about half of what they're actually worth, according to the New York Times. So there you go. Ooh, I'm getting a deal, 50% off.
In 4 years, he made over $160,000. I mean, that's like $40,000 extra a year.
No,
that's not bad.
We're going to get to the totals here in just a minute.
Oh, okay.
So apparently, he had, quote, so I don't know, if you own a golf cart, you might want to pay attention here. I actually know people that do own a golf cart, so you better be paying attention here. Apparently, there are, quote, common ignition keys that are used universally throughout various models of golf carts. And he had access to making them. So
that's pretty... That's, smart on his part, dumb on the golf cart maker's part.
Yeah, how does that happen?
They're like, we only need 1 key for all the golf carts. That sounds like a safe idea.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yep, absolutely.
No one's going to steal 40 of them over a 2-year span.
I guess because their logic is, well, if we're going to sell, like, I don't know, how many golf carts do you think a golf course has? Like 100?
Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah.
Like, they don't want to manage 100 separate keys.
Well, you already have to because the keys are already being manufactured.
But if as long as they're the same one,
you can jump in and out of.
Right, you don't gotta keep like, oh, this is key number 001. This is key 002. But
I guess, but I don't know, man. That sounds like a big safety flaw.
That seems like a huge safety flaw, right?
Yeah.
This guy exploited.
Right, common ignition keys.
Wow, that's pretty smart.
Yep. And apparently, the reason why it took so long to catch him was because he followed our advice and he made sure to use different courses at different times. This is what you do,
Rich,
folks.
I've always said we could commit crimes.
Yeah.
Like, every story we read, we learn new strategies.
This hiatus thing. You want to go rob a bank while we're at it?
I mean, why not? You got a wedding to pay for. I got a London trip to pay for.
Yeah, there we go.
What's a little bit of federal crimes?
Let's steal a couple golf carts.
Yeah,
we just got to get some common ignition keys, if I can even say it right. There you go. So
But,
originally,
nobody noticed him.
well,
Nobody noticed.
not.
Where's that guy going to that golf cart? Oh, he's just driving to McDonald's. He'll be right back. Nobody.
Haven't you done that on the 8th hole? You get a little hungry, you're playing a full round, just stop over at McDonald's.
So, Rich, you've been on golf courses. How easy is it to drive the golf cart to a point where you can exit the golf property?
There's usually some area to the parking lot.
Is there an easy way to drive it, or do you have to Grand Theft Auto and crash through the shrubs and through the flower beds and
You shouldn't have to.
No, there's an easy way to do it.
I mean, usually there's a way for the golf carts to get to the parking lot because you have really old players. They want to unload their clubs straight from the car to the cart.
And then from the parking lot, but there's no gates or anything to these.
I mean, it depends on the course.
Depends
some
on the course,
do.
yeah.
I'm sure the highly,
the fancy
exclusive
ones, yeah,
have them. But
damn.
Yep. He was originally going to be charged with 8 crimes, but he decided to do a plea bargain in which he pleaded guilty to interstate transportation of stolen property, which is a felony.
Yikes.
According to the police report, it was estimated that he made over $225,000. Wow, that's
nice.
That's a chunk of change there.
Oh, good for you.
That's an extra $56K a year over 4 years. I mean, that's
a job.
That's a full-time job right there.
There you go.
Wow.
And guess what, folks? The FBI was targeting him. This wasn't even a local, kind of what you said. Maybe somebody finally realized, hey, that guy looks familiar. Nope, it was the FBI. That's impressive.
So Florida had no idea.
Yeah, they
Florida's
were
clueless. Do.
Yeah.
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
Wow.
That's literally what Florida asks every day. Who is this guy? We literally don't know.
Does he even belong to us?
Does he even belong to us? The FBI is yes, and he's actively committing crimes. So Florida's well, we had no idea.
By the way, more details on this. His rule of thumb was that he only stole 2 carts per golf course.
See, he had a system.
He did. He had a full-blown system.
We could be criminals. We know what we're talking about every time we tell them not to do something. This guy, now how did he end up getting caught, though? I mean, it was the FBI. I mean, that's pretty good.
Look, the FBI was finally called in to take you down.
How many odd news criminals?
I feel like Christopher Walken in Catch Me If You Can. Wow, son, the FBI, bam, right to the moon. You're going for the big one.
I mean, yeah. I mean, really.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of this guy.
Yeah.
He took our advice. He made it 4 years, made himself over $200,000, took the FBI to take him down.
Nathan Rodney Nelson, the 50-year-old man we're saluting.
I'm 50. 50 years old.
Yeah. Just, wow.
He might be one of the most successful odd news perps we've ever had.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, with the crime, he has to go to jail and he has to forfeit the $225,000 back.
That sucks.
So,
unfortunately,
but I mean,
not.
Yeah.
It's to be expected.
Yeah, but wow, in terms of just how successful he was, that was a caper.
That was a caper indeed. That was 84 capers.
Yeah, spread out over 4 years and 2 times a golf course.
That's almost two thefts a month.
Yeah, but
for 4 years straight.
He had the system.
He did, and it took the FBI to take him down. I think he really is one of the most successful odd news perps we've ever had.
Yep. So there you go. What an odd news story to end that on, to end this episode on.
And you're right, it did touch sports, which means we had odd news in every segment of the show. The odd news is bleeding too far into everywhere.
Yeah, it's like the multiverse. We have to stop it. We have to.
Yeah, Doctor Strange didn't just break the MCU multiverse; he broke our multiverse as well.
Yeah.
It seems.
So, on that note, we gotta stop the bleeding right now. With that in mind, it's time to officially start wrapping up this episode, which is our season finale of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. And, you know, this is kind of a big moment. So I'm going with a unique closer here. Because, you know,
this is nice.
Yeah, and it's a big deal. I'm getting married. You're going on an adventure.
Well, one of those things is bigger than the other.
Yes.
The marriage definitely
also, by the way, if you're watching the video feed, Frank retired.
He did.
So shout out to Frank Costanzo. We got, you know, a lot of things happening here the last couple of months here, and it's kind of like you know, the end of a chapter. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does, definitely.
So I just wanted to mark it. You know, this is the official season finale of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Thank you guys for watching and listening to the podcast. Make sure you go to thecrispynoodle.com. Make sure you follow us on all the social media platforms. If you want to stay in contact with us on Twitter, I am at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig.
I am at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And, you know, I just want to say, you know, everyone that has been helping us through all of this craziness, anything between the wedding, the COVID, between, like, really, when you think about the last 2 years that we have gone through, it has been nuts.
Is this the capstone to, like, the COVID and post-COVID era?
Yeah, I kind of feel like it is. You know, we've been through a lot, and we've still come out on the other side here.
Yeah.
And
that's
a
beautiful message.
Thank you. Like, that's the way I kind of feel. I feel like this is a big moment. So I just want to say thank you guys for supporting us throughout this whole endeavor, whether it was during the Crispy Compact Communique or now. Thank you guys so much. And I also want to say thank you, Mikey. You're my best man.
Oh, well, thank you, Rich.
Yeah, you know, this is, you know, it means a lot to me. Everything does. Between the fact you're my best man, you did the podcast with me. And I can't wait to get married and have you by my side, and we're going to be ready to go. This is the hiatus.
I'm so looking forward to it. I'm so excited. This is like such inspirational, uplifting music, Rich. This is amazing. But, yeah, I mean, but really, I didn't have anything prepared.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of throwing you for a loop here.
Threw me for a loop here. But, yeah, I mean, it's an honor to be your best man, and to do this podcast by your side for so long, coming from never doing anything like this to now looking back on 9 years and the journey we've taken on the podcast and in our personal lives, it's been amazing.
Yeah, so I just wanted to officially mark it here on the Crispy Noodle. We return in May, so until then, we will always be here. We will be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. With that, we'll do it. I'm Rich Liebig.
I'm Michael Costanzo.
And, yeah, we'll see you guys in May to recap all the crazy news that has happened in the last 2 weeks. Thank you very much. We'll see you guys then.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye, all you fabulous people. Bye-bye.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.